Hi, I'm Dave,
And I'm Paul.
and we're going to challenge you to transform your financial future through the principles of the most profitable business in the world, banking.
We believe everyone should be involved in two businesses, the business that you're in and the banking business. Everyday people can replicate what bankers have been doing for centuries to leverage capital and build wealth through private lending.
Join us as we uncover the truths about money, expose lies and myths, and flip conventional financial advice on its head. Here we go. What's up, Paul?
Not much, man. What are you doing?
Packing the house up room by room.
Yeah.
So,
oh, man.
yeah. It's amazing how much garbage you acquire. Like, so much stuff that you're like, why do we still have this?
Yes. I totally get it. And I'm looking forward to moving in 2025 so I can dispose of, well, really most of the stuff in this house, quite honestly. We're going to get all new furniture minus a few select pieces will go from Virginia to Tennessee with us. But the rest of the stuff we get is going to be all new, which is great because it'll make the move that much easier.
True, but you don't get paid for the weight then.
Well, I tow the boat.
Yeah. Or you can haul the old furniture and then get rid of it when you get there.
Yeah, I mean, I haul the boat plus about 2,000 pounds in the back of the truck, so I get paid for that piece of it, and but I don't do a ditty anyway. I have the government move. I just do what they call partial.
Yeah,
PPM.
Good point.
Right.
It's been a while. It only matters if you're doing it.
It's not even ditty anymore. It's PPM.
Oh, they got to change it up to make it harder to say.
Procured move.
Oh, yeah. Well, in either case, it's nice to do that. In the military, you purge like every 2.5 years, typically.
Yeah.
And so you don't acquire a whole lot of junk.
Right.
But now it's like all the kids are out of the stages of like all the Nerf guns.
Nerf guns.
Like I had a whole box full, like toy box, huge box full of Nerf guns and pistols and, cap guns, like all this stuff. And I'm like, you guys want to keep any of this? They said, nah. So everything's gone.
Same.
It's kind of sad. It's like the end of an era. Like little boys running around with guns and shooting each other. But now it's like they're busy riding skateboards or ripsticks or bikes or driving soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you get the car yet?
No, I haven't been spending too much time looking for him, honestly, because too much stuff going on right now.
Folks, I told Dave not to get a used General Motors product.
Yeah, Paul's my go-to guy. If I'm about to go look at a used car, I'm like, what do you think of this brand? He's like, no. Okay. But
I mean, it pains me to say it, but I told him to look at Honda, Toyota, Subaru.
Right. Yeah.
Probably in that order.
Yep. And you go to the dealers and they got a lot of used cars on the lots, but none of them have prices. So you got to go talk to somebody and drag them around every single car. What's the price of this? What's the price of this? Yeah,
it's annoying.
Yeah,
and there's no salesmanship anymore either, right? When you go to these places, there's no one trying to sell me. Sell me that thing, man. I see the price. Sell me it. Why should I pay that?
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I think there's there's different types, right? There's the types that are always selling you and telling you stuff you don't even care about. And then there's the types that are just being friendly and cool and whatever. If you buy, you buy. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
But I think most people need a little bit of a push. But I think I saw a meme of a middle-aged man doing some stupid dance, like doing the robot or something. And it was like car dealers after selling a $60,000 car to somebody making $40,000 a year.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, man. So it's actually we're recording on Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day. I'm sure you got some buddies in mind that come to your mind on this day, like I do. Pretty sobering, but very grateful and thankful for their sacrifice. Thought you'd be out on the lake today.
Well, this is probably the worst Memorial Day weather in the history.
Okay.
Of Fougere family boating. We got out there on we got out Saturday. It was nice, windy but nice, and then met up with some friends. Our boat neighbors have a nice brand new lake house, so we went out there for a cookout after, and it was great. But yeah, the weather's just been crappy. It's crappy yesterday, crappy today.
Bummer, man. We've got a
So
beautiful weekend here.
yeah,
So, yeah, I need to get outside and enjoy it today. Well, all right, man. Hey, I think we were going to, we still haven't had a guest on. We're at, I think this is episode 69, and no guests yet, just the two of us. So instead of bringing on a guest to interview, like, a client case study interview, hey, how has infinite banking changed your life, etc., we're just going to spend a little time interviewing each other on that. And then I think we do want to bring on a guest at some point. It's just a matter of, what type. So if anybody has interest in, I guess, any suggestions on what kind of guests you would want us to bring on, let us know.
yeah. And we're not talking about the random inquiries from these marketing people saying,
Oh yeah, stay off. Get out of our email.
God, how do they? It's so annoying.
I could provide a lot of value to your audience. You don't know my audience, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, golly.
Yeah.
Anyway, super annoying. Stop doing that if that's you. Please stop.
Yeah, that was not an invitation to market to us. So, but we're just going to interview each other here. We got a few questions we dug up that we would probably ask any of you current clients these same questions, or IBC users, people who have become your own banker, even whether you're clients of ours or not, you're clients of somebody. But these are the same questions we would ask you. So I'll start off and just ask you, Paul. Think back. Let's see, you've had your policies in place for about 4 years now, right?
Yeah.
Back before that, what was your financial situation prior to this business, and then, or discovering infinite banking, and then your financial situation now, knowing that your active income, the income that you derive from your career, which is full-time Army officer, and same as Tammy, right? You guys are dual income Army officers. It has increased over the last 4 years by just, whatever that rank increase in pay has been. I don't know, what, $30,000, $40,000 or something, maybe a little more. But so take that out of the situation. How has your financial situation changed from 2019 prior to discovering this to now?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. I think that we've talked about how IBC makes you, by virtue of being around the people that are doing IBC, you start to see other things. You start to think differently, and that's been true for us, or for me. I run the finances. Tammy is a very trusting woman, and she's very busy with her career and the kids, and we both are. But anyway, so I'll say this: bottom line up front, I'm more prosperous. I was doing things the conventional way. I don't like to use the word traditional. I think it's conventional. That's right. Better. What I was taught to do since I was a lieutenant was, hey, here's your Roth IRA. Here's your sort of regular whole life insurance. Here's some savings. If you can, max out your thrift savings plan, blah, 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 blah. This lowers your taxable income. So I was doing what most other people were doing. And we've talked about that before. So it wasn't really anything special. I also I didn't have the ability to make more money. I wasn't looking for, and we were busy. We were in the middle of 2 wars, right? So there was, deployments, and I felt like I wasn't looking for anything like that. I was content that I was doing the things that my financial advisors were telling me to do, and I was maxing those as, each and every year, qualified plans. And I was very proud of that. So I think I was just your normal, average American college graduate, ceding control over my future wealth each and every month, each and every year. And when I contrast that to what we're doing now and where we are now, I've started a business. I pay significant premium into, dividend paying whole life insurance. I'm a private money lender. I'm a real estate investor. I'm an accredited real estate investor.
Which is not a
It's
super easy thing to become on a
they keep
military
making
income.
it easier though.
Oh,
You
yeah?
notice like it's like, well, if you're correct. You really have to be disciplined. And
Yeah.
folks, in the book The Millionaire Next Door, there's a simple formula: take your age times your income, divide by 10, and that should be your accumulated net worth at that age, at least at a minimum. And we luckily have exceeded that over the years, but so yeah, it's totally different. And now you're buying a new home that's extremely expensive. I'm in the process of signing a contract to eventually build a new home. It's going to be extremely costly compared to what things were just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have the opportunities I have access to now, because I'm doing things in a different way and I'm surrounded by different people, I'd just be doing the normal load thing and making what I make in the Army. I can't make any more than that by
Right.
working harder, or
You can't work long. You can't work overtime. Yeah.
right. There's none of that. So I'll say this: I've been able to quicken what we're get closer to dream. Where the dream might have been at age 55 or 60, now it's going to be at age 44, 45.
Yeah. Nice. Well, so I'm going to go back to, you said now you're a private lender and a real estate investor. You were both of those things prior to Infinite Banking as well. However,
Prior.
Just prior.
Yeah, but a year prior. Yeah.
Now go back to the first loan you made to me.
Yeah.
Now that you are your own banker, would you ever make a similar loan to anybody else? Like, would you make that loan again if you went back in time?
I would make that loan to you
Okay.
because that's who I was lending to, right? I was lending to you,
Yeah.
and I knew your character. And we've talked about this in an episode about how you do due diligence and stuff, but I trusted you. I knew you weren't a moron. I know we shared, a view of the world together. But no, when you're saying, not really collateralized, just
Like
a
those
personal
terms.
guarantee and a promissory note with those terms at 12%. No,
Was it 12? I think maybe it started
it was 12.
Did it start at 10 and move to 12, or it was 12?
No, it was 12.
Yeah. 12% was okay, but it was still, 2018, 2019, like the market was doing
2017,
pretty
yeah.
well.
12% was totally fine. And guess what, folks? 12% is really good. Year on year, 12% every year. That's very good.
Yeah. Yeah. But there were the way you looked at that loan then to the way you look at it now is completely different. I mean, first and foremost, you're going to look at the person you're lending to. But the other terms, like that was a completely unsecured loan.
Yep.
To our business. And our business had only been in place for like a year at that point, maybe a little over a year.
But you were on a podcast. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Just
I know.
Crushing it.
Yeah. That did provide some credibility. So, but
Sure.
you had your eyes open a little bit, like, hey, what's going on there? I'm gonna reach out and
Yes.
find out. Now, I'd say the biggest difference is deals come to you. Opportunities come your
question.
way. You don't have to seek them out.
Yeah, I would say it's so true because you build a network over time. You build a network of clients who are doing things, who might be, they're in some sort of business that they're in need of capital, that maybe the banks aren't quick enough or whatever. And, for house fix and flip businesses, that's typically true. You can only have so many mortgages at once. They need money quick, whether it's rehab money, hold money, combination of both, whatever it is. Maybe they're doing wholesaling. Maybe they're doing, what does he do out there in California? He does lease options.
Okay.
Whatever it is. But there's capital requirement, and private lenders can be quick. So yeah, but you're right. I turn away now because I'm trying to consolidate my own capital. I'm turning away probably on average one opportunity a week, I would say.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair to say. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot. And that allows you to be pretty picky, very choosy.
Well, that's what's changed too. Like you said, at first I was seeking these things out, and they were few and far between. And looking back, some of them might have been, maybe I just got lucky. because that's the biggest that's the biggest fear, right? Is people hear you're doing this and like, wow, it's so foreign. I think it's coming a little bit more mainstream now, private lending and things like that. But for most people who are just shoveling money into a 401k or an IRA and they have no idea what's going on really with it, is I remember one of my buddies was saying, he's like, that seems so dangerous.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, what you guys are doing in the stock market seems really dangerous to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2017 to 20, when the market kind of dipped a little bit there, it was, I got
It's like,
correct.
yeah. Do you know the name of the person handling your money? Guarantee you 100% you don't. You know, making the decisions on the trades.
No,
yeah,
they have no idea.
I know the name of the person personally that I'm loaning money to.
Yep. I wish I had kept my some of the statements from that broker, that entity that we were both with for a little while there, for me a long time. And, we were in so many different mutual funds,
Mm-hmm.
and it was almost impossible I didn't really understand it. This is much better. I know where the money is, I know what it's doing, and I make the decision. It's what could be better than that?
Yeah. Nice. I like it. I like this one. What are some of the unseen advantages? Like everybody wants to know. They want
Show
to
me
see,
the numbers.
Show me the numbers. Show me how this is going to improve my life. But there's a lot of unseen. Like there's unseen consequences in every decision you make.
Sure.
So what are some of the unseen? I guess you can call them consequences, good or bad. In this case, good of becoming your own banker. I'd say one that comes to mind here is you've got nobody else to blame but yourself.
That's true.
And
I was going to say, we just discussed a bunch of the unseen.
Yeah, we
which
really
has
did.
now been brought forward, but it's
Yeah.
to most people that's the unseen. Is the only thing people new to IBCC, they view is, I want to see page 10, which is the tabular detail of an illustration that shows me all the numbers on a page. This is the premium, this is the cash value, this is the death benefit, this is the guarantee, this is the non-guarantee. That's what they can see.
Mm-hmm.
What they can't see is refusing one deal per week that's very profitable and very safe. It's, whether it's real estate or some other opportunity, and it's a repeat customer, it's a repeat relationship.
Yeah.
The next deal is being underwritten, and here we go. You can't illustrate. We as agents cannot show you that on a piece of paper, and we can talk about it on this podcast, Dave. But until you're in it, and I've been in that space now for this would be my 7th year of doing private lending and stuff like that. I can't show that. So I see that's one of the advantages is that at first I was looking, now I've built the network and the network expands, right? They know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody maybe. So, and the quality of what you analyze increases. Like I think that one of the things that is for us has become, more stringent requirements, I'd say. I'm more picky on what deals I would consider like interesting, or a lot of them are just mildly interesting. Like, meh. There's always something better. And I like how Ryan says this, this eager investor syndrome, or you have fear of missing out. And I've addressed this with clients. Capitalizing your policy or series of policies is doing something. You don't have to just, you know what I mean? Put a bunch of money in there and take it right back out and go do something. Like, I think that's silly. You're not obvious. IBC, well, you're going to be smart about fractional reserve banking. You're going to know what's going on, which can be annoying. Knowing what the problem is annoying. I kind of liked it when I was kind of in the dark and just had no idea what it was.
Ignorance is
it's
bliss.
A recession.
Yeah.
Like, it's magic. It's just, no. So yeah.
I'd say.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, I was going to say, being able to make decisions from a position of strength. That's an unseen.
Sure.
You don't even think about that when you get involved. And then all of a sudden, you're in a position of strength. You're on the high ground, like standing on top of your pile of capital. and you can make a decision from there, as opposed to, I'll give you one example of that. When I was working in corporate America, after the first year, I realized there's no way I can do this for the rest of my life, for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
So I spent the next year and a half building a real estate business to get out of that job. But because I had, one of my goals was to have X number of dollars in cash value before I exit, because I knew that would be more than enough to provide for my family should I go an entire year without making a dollar in that business. Worst case scenario, I could easily go a year, not sacrifice our quality of life whatsoever, and give it a go. And if it didn't work out, go back and get another job. But I was able to make that decision from a position of strength because I had the financial capital backing me up that I could access. It was liquid. It was available. It was for me to use for whatever I wanted.
Love it. And, maybe this one is obvious as far as the unseen. I'll never see the death benefit, right? Because I'll be dead.
Yep.
But my beneficiaries will be. Hopefully it's, it's like going to be Tammy or my children or grandchildren, whoever, combination. I think one of the unseen for me is I have that peace of mind knowing that not only do I have access to my cash, I have guaranteed assets that increase in value literally every single day. But I also have my legacy is, has been enshrined already.
Yeah. It's secured.
It is guaranteed. It is secured. And God forbid if something were to occur, that I know that although everyone will be very sad because I'm just so pleasant to be around, but at least they're going to start from a position of strength, as you said.
Yeah.
Much more so than we did, for sure. Right. We started this thing, right? We're building it right now. And that's big. That's a big one for me. And I like that. And, it gets me it's exciting to think about the future, even though,
even though you're not going to be there
and I won't be there, but at least I'll know I have set the foundation, the education and the how we do business as a family has been set. Mm-hmm. And again, I can't, maybe some of our clients aren't thinking about those things, but they will eventually. I think most of them are.
Yeah.
So anyway,
and what peace that would give you, man. I'm a big fan of documentaries. I don't watch much
Me too.
TV, right? Like you don't watch TV either, but I like documentaries. So if I'm going to watch something at night, kids are in bed, I'm just done for the day, my brain's done working, I'm going to turn on a documentary. Yep. And I was watching a recent one on Waco, David Koresh and
Branch Davidians. I've watched that one.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched a few, but this is a recent one, right? It's a 3-part documentary, but they're interviewing actual dudes from the ATF.
That was a good one.
There. Yeah. Yep. Do you remember in the first episode, there was a guy there and he was an ATF dude and he was hearing these bullets whiz past him. And he said, my first thought, do you remember what it was?
Did he say, I wish I had got more life insurance or something?
He said, my first thought was, I wish I had more life insurance because he had 2 young kids at the time. I thought, man, I'm so thankful. I will never have that thought ever.
Although you want to buy more life insurance, don't you?
I will buy more. I'll continue to buy more.
Right.
But I'll never say,
we are buyers of life insurance.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll never have to say, man, I wish I was going to, I don't think I'm going to be leaving enough for my family. Like, no, that ship has already sailed. I'm definitely leaving enough for my family, guaranteed.
Yep. It's funny though, if you ask that question to somebody, like if you're sitting down with a husband and a wife and you say to the husband or wife, whoever, let's say the non-breadwinner, if he drops dead or she drops dead, how much life insurance would you like him to leave you?
Yeah.
And of course they think it's a number,
yeah.
Right? And it's not. It's like, $1 million? I'm like, well, it's not a lot of money now. I was like, no, it's as much as you could possibly get.
Right.
You should want as much death benefit as you could possibly get. That is the right answer. And when you understand IBC, especially, right, Dave, it becomes so obvious that we're trying to create a financial system, a financing system, a banking system for your family. Mm-hmm. And the cash value and death benefit are linked, right? One's the present value of the death benefit, the cash value.
Yeah.
Of course, you want to pay high premium, high death benefit, high cash value. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, great point.
But you alluded to another one of the unseens, which is it really, for me, it's helped me think bigger. I just think a lot bigger than I used to. I used to think very small in my lane. This is how much money I make. This is how much I'm going to make. And this is how big my life can be. Like, no longer, man. My life I'm thinking much bigger, even though I'm still not to the point of thinking as big as I need to think. I know that much. So there's room for improvement, but I certainly have a much larger view of what life can be than I did even 5 years ago. 10 years ago, for sure.
No, for sure. And I've been able to watch it, right? Because I've been, you and I have been linked at the hip for the last really like 6 years. And, which is, there's an unseen thing, Dave, is I tell people this, like often is, how did you get started? I mean, the IBC discussion leads to, the self-directed IRA, to the HELOC, I saw Dave in a podcast, and, I had been getting into this kind of thing at the same time as he was. And I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Damn
it's
it.
It's first thing to go.
It's the first thing to go. You see all the grays in my beard, right?
Oh yeah. I had my stepson, he showed me a picture. He's like, you should grow your beard out like this. I was like, well, I'll have to dye it gray if I do that, because that's a lot grayer than mine. He's like, no, you have enough gray in yours. It will look just like this. I'm like, really? I have that much gray? Thanks, man.
Yeah. Yeah. This is, I haven't shaved all weekend, so it's been nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a point to make. I just can't remember what the heck it was. Sorry,
I don't
everybody.
even remember what you were talking about. So
yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Whatever.
Get CRS.
You were talking about us being, seeing each other's stories evolve over the last several years, because we've been.
Oh, that's the point I wanted to make. Is it really took one relationship that can spider web out into tens or hundreds of relationships probably at this point. And that's been my personal experience, is that, as this relationship has, blossomed into many other relationships. I was your first client, then I got into this space.
Paul,
and then you're first. Like, we need to, that's right. Quick study from the last episode, then, and now we have, a book of business together and separate. And again, I feel like we're just unlocking people from the matrix one at a time.
Dude, I think you just nailed the biggest unseen, and that's relationships. The relationships, the network that grows from being in this mindset. Yeah, you're not even kidding, man. I bet I could reverse engineer the last 4 years and our relationship, and I could probably name 100 people that I now know and perhaps even done business with because of my relationship with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really incredible. And, the more I've, we're both avid readers, and the more I read about, what some wealthy people have done, they all, in these little reels where they're being interviewed, they all say that. They all say, hey, you can learn something from everybody, or there's some, and the successful people are generally willing to talk to you about
how they
became
Absolutely.
successful. They're very humble people. I found them to be very humble people. And I love sharing. I'm, mildly successful relative to most of, people on earth. But
yeah,
we all start somewhere, right? So I, anyway, love sharing the story, but I love, your network is your net worth. And that is my example has been, it's so true. I can't emphasize it enough.
Yeah. And I would reiterate that by saying the greatest asset in any endeavor are the people involved.
Yep.
Are your greatest your network is your greatest asset.
Yep.
And I think outside of yourself, right? Like without which we've hit on that before.
I think that's why we also we do this podcast. One, because we like to hang out together, but two, we're expanding our network. Folks, we get great feedback from y'all, and we really appreciate it. It's really humbling too, but we're again, people are learning from the words that are coming out of our mouths. And if I can help one person, it's worth it. It's just worth it to me. This is getting kind of corny, but it's really how I feel about it. Like, I enjoy every second. I tell people that, like, oh, sorry, Paul, I took an hour and a half of your time. Like, dude, enjoyed every second of it. I love talking, especially early in the process, and the people just get it, and you're just like, yes,
Yeah.
like you understand why we're doing this. Because again,
Go ahead. Finish.
now I was gonna say, if you don't understand why, then none of the solutions I present are gonna matter.
Right. I was just going to butt in and say, don't ever, if you're genuinely interested in learning and becoming your own banker, don't ever apologize for taking up our time. That's the part of the business we enjoy the most, is talking to people who get it, talking to people who want to get it, and who want to get to the why.
That's right.
Yeah. So don't ever apologize for that. If you're truly wasting my time, you won't need to apologize, because we won't be talking. Trust me. Like, you won't be wasting my time for long.
Communicating over email.
You can't. Yeah, you won't be wasting my time for long. Trust me. So, all right, man. Well, I think that's good. We hit the time limit here. But yeah, we got many more questions that we could ask each other. But we do need to bring on a guest sometime. So we're working on that, everybody, in case you're getting tired of just hearing these two voices purr at you. We'll work on getting some other minds in here, but keep bringing us the recommendations for the topics. Keep throwing questions at us. We're always due for another Q&A session. So we want to do that. And then, we expect some changes coming up in the business here before too long, this summer. Maybe make it a better experience for anybody who's interested in getting involved, and certainly a better experience for the clients that we already have. So I'm looking forward to the improvements we're going to be making there.
Exciting stuff. Growing.
Yeah. Growing for sure. So we don't want to offer a lower grade of service. So we got to up our game on the back end and the front end, I guess, to keep making sure we can offer the same great service to everybody, because everybody deserves it. Whether you're paying $5,000 or $100,000 a year in premium, It doesn't matter, because you're becoming your own banker, and that's what we want you to do. So, all right, I think we beat that horse. So, well, hey, have a good rest of the holiday weekend, Paul, and for everybody else out there, don't forget, control your capital,
or somebody else will. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. If you'd like to have a conversation with us to see how you can become your own banker, or if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to tackle on a future episode, please send us an email to davidandpaul@theibcguys.com.
And subscribe and leave us a review if you're on Apple. Follow and leave us a 5-star review if you're on Spotify. And please share this with your friends. We'll see you next week.